Hey guys, today I'm going to show you how to replace the fan in the Nintendo Switch OLED. So first thing we're going to do is remove this back shell. We're going to start with Y00 screwdriver, and that's these two screws at the bottom underneath the kickstand. Once those are removed, you can switch to 00 Phillips, and we're going to go to the top two screws on both sides. I am going to stop there to show you that those screws are different. The top screw only has half threads, while the bottom is full thread. Just keep that in mind. Go to the other side. Now that those are out, we can go to the bottom, and there's two screws, one on either side of the charge port. And one on top. Now that all those screws are removed, you're going to lift the kickstand and you're going to grab this corner. There's little plastic tabs that are holding this on. So I just like to grab this corner and just start pulling up. Just do it lightly. You don't want to break any of those tabs. And that'll pull that away. Now that the back plate is off, we're down to this metal shield. We have to remove all the screws in here. We're going to just go around. One here with the fan. So underneath this antenna cable, there's one screw, so we got to remove those. For that, I like to just grab a little plastic pry tool, pick that up. This tape I have removed before. That's why it's so easy. For me, you're going to have to pry up on it a little bit more. Just kind of get those guys off to the side. Okay, now we can remove that screw. This is just going to flip up, and there's going to be some resistance because your first thermal paste is right here, but it's going to swing up, and you'll see you got thermal paste right there. Now that we're inside, the first thing we're going to do is disconnect the battery. And to get to the fan, we need to remove the daughter board as well as the heat pipe. Daughter board is first. This has a single screw. This screw is underneath a little white sticker. My sticker is just not there because I've already removed this before. Once you remove that screw, you can just lift up. There's a single surface mount connector. Now that's removed, we can remove the heat pipe. There is 3 screws holding this on. Once you have those 3 screws removed, you're going to want to get underneath this and pry up. There's going to be some suction due to thermal paste being there. Once you have that up, there's also adhesive underneath this metal heatsink here. You'll be able to lift that right out. Now we have access to the fan itself with 3 screws as well as the connector. First, I'm going to lift up on this little plastic tab of the connector. And now I'm going to remove the 3 screws. Now the fan can be lifted out. There is a small bend in the ribbon cable there, so just be careful of that. And it should just pull out of that connector now that it's open and unlocked. Okay, make sure that connector stays unlocked in the up position. I'm just going to go ahead and reinstall this same fan because this fan, there's no issues with it. But obviously you'll be putting in a new fan. You may need to bend this cable to match. But I'm just going to slide it back into place. I'm going to put the screws back in, and then we'll work on reconnecting that ribbon cable. Let's zoom in on the ribbon cable. And basically what I want to do here is I'm going to use some tweezers. I'm going to grab that ribbon cable gently, bend it back into place, and try and push it into that connector. It's kind of a tight fit, so you may have some difficulty here, as you see I am. But basically just want to bend it into place and get it pushed into that connector. You don't want to force anything. These are very fragile ribbon cables. Once you have it in place, you will know because you'll be able to just push it in with that white line there. See how that's going in? And then once that is in, I can close the lock. And there we go. Lock is closed. Once that new fan is installed, we can just reverse that process. First, we're going to put the heat pipe back in. And you're just going to slot it at the top here and drop it into place. Put the 3 screws back in. We can drop the daughter board back in place. You're just going to set this where it should go and then push right in this center spot, and you're going to feel it click into that surface board connector. Return our 1 screw. You can put that sticker back on if you'd like. I don't have it anymore. Plug the battery back in and then flip this back into place. Just be careful of these antennae. Now that that metal shield is back in place, I am going to cut to another video of me putting this back together so I don't have to record it again. And now we can put all the screws back into this metal plate. Reinstall the antennas. And to put the antenna back in, just kind of move it into place over top of the connector and then push down. This is where some tweezers might come in handy. All right. Now we can put this back cover back on. So be careful with this back cover. There's all these little plastic pieces where the speaker grill is, and you can tell like I've already done some damage to it, peeling back that dust cover as well as breaking some of the tabs. You just want to kind of push it into place here, and then once that's in the bottom, you can push it in everywhere else. And sometimes it gets stuck on the side like that. You just got to find that groove where the hinge goes. So just kind of move it around until it gets into the right spot. And now we can put the screws back into the shell. Going back to the 2 screws for the rail, you've got the top screw has only half threads, and the bottom one or the middle one has full threads. So just when you're putting them back in, remember that. And for the screws underneath the kickstand, we're going to flip back to our 00Y. And that's it, guys. I hope this video helped. If it did, make sure to like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.